God. What is going on, everybody? How's everyone doing? Ben, I see you there in the chat. You made it just in time. You're still working at the office, though. Me too. I just started working at the office. This is my version of the office. This is my office hours when we take... I don't know. You know, people ask me stuff. I don't know what the hell's going on. What are we talking about? Let me open my notes. We're going to talk about... Let's switch to dark mode so that I don't, like, get blinded by the computer. It's a little easier to look at when we're in dark mode. Refresh. Dark mode. Dark mode. Dark mode. Okay, guys. Sorry. I don't know why this won't go to dark mode. Just give me a little bit. Give me, like... I don't know. Now I'm under pressure, and it's like... I feel so much pressure. It's like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Appearance? I don't know why it won't. Okay, there we go. Dark mode. Jeez. I don't know why it wouldn't automatically switch with the system. Okay, so what are we going to talk about? We have the Mid-Atlantic major layout in Atlantic City. We'll kind of touch on that a little bit. You know, I don't know. I have a Control 2 finally. We're going to talk about the Control 2. And in the title of this as well, you can kind of maybe see this as Geo 5R. 5R? Jesus Christ. One of these days I'm going to get it right. The Geo R5. I don't have one of those yet, but I was able to shoot one the other day and actually kind of fondled one. So we'll talk about the Geo 5, the R5 in a minute. I don't like the name of that thing. We gotta talk about this push video we're gonna watch. We're gonna do a giveaway for all the channel members. We're gonna do a G1 headgear giveaway. So we got we're gonna pick 2 people, and we have 2 different little package kind of things. We got their headband, not headband, they're like beanie situation, the padded beanie, some gloves. So that's the stuff we're gonna do. And always, we want to thank BFP Gear, you know, the sponsor of this whole thing. BFP Gear right there. Make sure to, check out BFP Gear. They're the best paintball store. They're a sponsor of this channel. They sponsor the best paintball team in the world, San Diego, the Dynasty. There's links in the description over to BFP Gear. So check BFP Gear out, help support them as they really help make this stuff completely possible. Okay, Ben Lawton, I need to get a white beanie for the summer. Mine was absorbing some sun this weekend and got a little glow. Oh, jeez. This table moved. You got a little bit of a glow. That's not too bad. That's maybe a little bit of skin cancer. I don't know about white beanies, though. You really want to, it's going to look so gross after the day. It's going to look all brown and, disgusting. There used to be that company 100th Monkey. They made a white kind of beanie situation. Everybody let me know where you're at. Where's everybody from? Are we going to be able to find anyone in the Dominican Republic today? Probably not. A little bit of a burp. All right. I don't know. Are we going to talk about the MAO layout? Maybe. Okay, we got Nashville. I'd like to go to Nashville. Nashville would be a nice place to go. New Jersey. Where are we at? Norco. I know where that's at. Norco, California. I'm in NorCal, Illinois, near St. Louis. There's another Illinois. Nope, that's Louisville. Sorry. Louisville, Louisville and St. Louis, they're kind of close, I guess. The great state of Georgia. Alberta, Canada. There we go. Camarillo, California. Ventura County. I like Ventura County. I really want to go to Spain. I've been looking at going to Spain. I want to go to Spain. Colorado, San Diego, Fallbrook, San Diego. Okay. I don't know. Let's just look at the layout. Let's just look at MAO layout. So this weekend... I guess we'll talk about the MAO layout, and we gotta talk about this push watch party that I totally scheduled stupidly. So MAO layout, the Mid-Atlantic Major. This used to be called the Mid-Atlantic Open all the time. So people still call it MAO for the Mid-Atlantic Open, but now it's like MAG. M-A-G, M-A, what? M-A-M, MAM. The MAM tournament? MOM tournament? I don't know. This is just a divisional one, right? So if we remember the last tournament that it was in Texas, there was that crazy, rain, tornado, storm that rolled through there on Saturday night, and they actually had to cancel the pro division. So this is not going to be the pro layout. This will only be used for divisionals. They're going to actually finish up that tournament on Thursday, and then they're going to release the pro layout on Thursday evening. So the pros are actually going to play a whole blind layout. So this will only be for those divisional teams. And it's kind of crazy. I mean, it's a very, very interesting. I mean, we look at this thing and it's like, I like that view. That's my favorite view always, is that straight out of back center view. The snake is just ridiculous. I play at Capital Edge, and we have here in Sacramento at Capital Edge, they have a big hyperball field, and they have a zipper snake sort of like that, with both of those snakes kind of lined up like that. And what we find at Capital Edge, at least, is that typically the outside snake is still the one everyone goes to, right? Somehow you might find your way to that interior, that inside snake, but we find that the outside snake works the best. But I don't know on this layout. It's kind of crazy. I really like seeing all this like weird, crazy layouts. It's very odd to see those like mini wings or those mini W's right there in those like, the Snake 1 bunkers, sort of, but they have that crazy angle. So it's like, I don't really know what the purpose of that angle is, other than maybe make it so people don't actually go to those bunkers. But it'd be very interesting to see somebody go to the outside snake off the break, and then what do? Do they just like crawl all the way down to the other side? Like, I don't know. You could literally just go to the snake and then just like crawl all the way to their side, probably. Like all the way, just keep crawling. You guys can't see my cool arm movements I'm making though. So I don't know, it's going to be very interesting. What I'm probably more interested in is just, the tournament in general. And we should probably talk about that. So this past week, or really for, I'll mention this. I don't know, we'll talk about the layout and then I'll talk a little bit more. I don't know, I really like that snake. It just it's pretty crazy. I think the center of the field has been, I don't want to say typical, but it's kind of been typical of the layouts that we've been seeing these last, few years. How they just have those big, huge center bunkers. That snake side is just crazy, you've got all those, pins over there that are, blocking out stuff in the snake, and it's kind of wild. What are you guys saying in here? I know some of you guys have actually played this. Yeah, who's actually played this? And has anyone practiced for the tournament coming up, or did you get a chance to look at the layout this past weekend? Are there Daddy Big Mad asks, are there too many bunkers? I kind of think so. When we look at the old layouts, it's something we've kind of talked about somewhat recently as well, as these old layouts. We've been watching a lot of old paintball stuff on here. And when we watch those old matches from 20-something years ago, that are still the same, pretty much the same dimensions and the same format we're playing now, they have significantly less bunkers. I mean, there were probably 30% fewer bunkers on the field 20 years ago. And I don't know. I'm not sure if that's better or worse. I think that having more bunkers certainly makes it easier to move, right? Because you only have to go 10 feet rather than, go 20 feet over to that bunker. So it makes it a little less likely for you to get shot. But at the same time, I think that it kind of slows games down a little bit because there's so many bunkers. Sometimes it's hard to see people and you lose people. Imagine if you're in this back corner right here. You're in this back bunker right there. And, you're down at the same height of all the bunkers. So you really can't see anything. It's like everything's kind of blocked out. So I don't really know. I think that there's obviously probably good and bad things to having fewer or more bunkers. But I kind of probably would like to see a little bit of a reduction. I mean, just look at how clogged the field looks in the center. You know, the Dorito side over there with those big wedges and all the Doritos, and then you got all these pins jammed on the snake side. So it's a lot of bunkers, but I don't necessarily know. I'm not sure if more or less would be better. Ben right here says, the pins by the snake do feel a little congested, but that's the only area to me. Let's look back. Yeah, you're not ever going to run in there either. There's just stuff everywhere. I mean, there's just so many goddamn bunkers. No one's ever even going to go to those pins, though. You know, you're just going to be running straight through them or whatever. No one's going to really play them, though, for sure. Dana says, I played it 2 days ago this past weekend. Great layout, easy to move around with all the bunkers. See, there you go. You know, it's just easier to kind of move and facilitate movement. And one of the things that certainly having the larger bunkers does is it makes it easier for just larger players. You know, if we had all super small bunkers, like all mini cakes, like, or the mini cake? The baby cake? The small cake, right? The small cake. You know, if all the bunkers were that size, it'd be just, we'd very limit the amount of players that could play. You know, we don't typically see larger players playing the NXL. Most of the NXL players at all the divisions are typically a little better shape. But no question at the local level, if you're playing, you know, local 3-man or, you know, D5, 5-man locally, we get a whole mash of players. So I think having those larger bunkers makes it a little bit more inclusive or whatever. It just allows more people to be playing, which is probably good. Ben, if I were to tweak it, ditch the 50 brick inside Dorito, the 50 brick inside Dorito. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. The one that's on the 50 line. Dorito, and move those 2 inside Dorito wedges more center. Yeah, that's true. Then you'd probably run into the Doritos that's like inside Doritos getting close though. But you could move them a little bit closer and then, you know, further. Who knows though? It's always hard to, you know, you got to kind of play the layout, I think, to understand why stuff's in places. You know, it's like these pins, they're typically put there as like blockers, right? So that you can like kind of hang out in like a dead zone and stuff. But MAO is going to be taking place, like we can see right up there, or I should say MAM. That's not as fun to say as MAO, is it? MAM? Ma'am? The Mid-Atlantic Major is going to take place this weekend, June 21st to the 23rd. But there's also going to be paintball going down on the 20th. So the day before, we're going to see the finals and all the Sunday matches that didn't happen in Texas are going to take place. Move my mat. Are going to take place Thursday. And you know what? The same exact day, I actually scheduled this, which we're totally rescheduling. So if anyone wanted to watch, you know, if anyone was really excited to watch the push watch party together, it was going to happen this Thursday. So the goal was it was going to be on the 20th at 4 p.m. But then I just totally forgot that the NXL is happening the exact same time. I mean, the finals start at 4:30. So I don't really want to be doing a totally separate live stream while I would actually be preferred to watch the finals. So I think that doing it at the same time is just like totally stupid. So we're just going to reschedule it for the next week. So rather than the 20th, on the 27th at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, here on this YouTube channel, there's also a link below to this live stream. We'll be watching push together. So I'll have the video up and really just like this, and we'll be watching it, and I'll like comment, and I want to try to get some facts together. If anyone remembers like pop-up video from like VH1, how they had little pop-up things. I want to try to do that. I want to edit some of those into that video too. So I want to put like fun facts and stuff like that, and like weird little trivia things that'll kind of make it a little interesting too. So we're moving it from the 20th to the 27th. It makes total sense. I don't know why. I just, the NXL doesn't play on Thursdays, so I didn't even think about it. So that's my mistake. If you want to join, though, you do have to be a channel member. But any of those members, so if you're let's just do this right now, any of those members, it doesn't matter the tier. So if you're one of the supporting members, just that $3 one, or if you want to jump all the way to that pro one, for $10, that's going to get you exclusive video stuff. You get a members discount. You're going to get access to additional members only live streams. But you just have to be a member if you want to take part or watch, that live stream coming up the 27th. And I just want to know, it's the 27th. I'm sorry, I'm going to post more information about it at places, but the 27th, Big Daddy Mad, right there, signing to be a member. Thank you, sir. I don't know why we don't have, like, this freaking, all kinds of problems. Nate, any possibility of a private live stream of finals? I kind of thought about it, but I kind of want to watch it. I'm thinking. I'm wondering if I can, like... No, they'll get so mad at me if I do that. I'm not sure yet. Probably not. So yeah, that's moving. We're moving the live stream. And we might as well talk about this Geo as well. The Geo R5. And like I said, I don't have one of these in my hands. So I don't actually own one. So we're just going to let these clips play. And I'm going to talk about the thing. So actually, you know what? The first thing that I really noticed, we'll put these on as a little bit better, is, dude, the front foregrip. It's like, what's really odd about this is I feel that, like, when the Geo 4 came out, the Geo 4 was out, and the Geo 4 was essentially the same size, pretty much, as a CS1. So that rear trigger frame, the rear grip was kind of big. And the front foregrip was exactly the same foregrip as the CS1. So it essentially felt very, very similar in the hands. And the thing that I noticed right away when I picked this thing up was just how different it feels from almost all of the Planet Eclipse guns, right? I think that it's going to feel very similar in some of these places, like their rear trigger frame is going to feel very similar to the CS3. I mean, it's literally the exact same trigger frame, right? So if you're just holding it in your hands, blindfolded or eyes closed, you're not going to notice the difference. But that front foregrip is huge. I mean, it's crazy how big that foregrip feels. Mainly because it's the exact same size as the Geo 4 and that CS1 foregrip. But the rear trigger frame has gotten so much smaller, you can really kind of feel the discrepancy or the difference between that foregrip and the trigger frame. I don't think it's too big, but it's certainly much larger feeling in your hands than the CS3. It's bigger than, the CS2. It feels bigger than the EMAC or the 180R. The LV2, though, feels about the same on that foregrip. And these are longer. So it's about, it's about that much longer, maybe like a 1/4 of an inch or something like that. It's a little noticeable, but I don't think that you're going to pick it up and think it's like way longer or anything like that. It's going to still feel about the same length as we've been used to for the past few years with all the guns. I like it. I mean, I didn't really think I would like this. I definitely do. I think that it feels good in my hands. It looks really streamlined in person. It just looks super slick and clean in person. I think that's mainly because they got rid of those eye covers. So there's no eye covers on these like the CS3. And it's just like, really clean. Like in person, it just looks like smooth and like clean. I don't really know how to explain that. I think it just looks kind of like better a little bit than the CS3. Whether it shoots any better, I don't know. I did say I shot it, but I didn't actually shoot it. We just put like air through it, and I didn't actually shoot paint through it because we're not actually supposed to shoot it yet. And who knows if I'm supposed to talk about it? But shooting, like we put air on the CS3 and put air on the the R5, and I mean, obviously without paint, you're just shooting air. It's not really telling you much. But I definitely noticed that, like, I feel like it still sounds like a Geo, so it still has that same, like, kind of sound and sort of feel as the Geo. From the people that have shot the gun, they say it shoots very similar to that 3.5, or like if you had a GSL or something like that. So apparently it's quite a bit better shooting-wise than the Geo 4. I didn't really like my Geo 4. I don't really know why it was so different shooting, but I like it. It's kind of cool where they moved that SFR, that solenoid flow restrictor turny deal. It's in the actual trigger frame now, which is good and bad. I mean, most people aren't really ever adjusting those. They might adjust it once and kind of leave it. You're not like, tweaking it every single time you play. But it's definitely going to make it a little bit harder to, if you want to, like, maybe mess with the settings a little bit or whatever. Something like that. What are people saying? That the HK Geo 4? Nope, I don't know. Nope, that's the fucking R5? God damn, it takes me forever. It takes me so long. Under NDA, I'm definitely not, but the person that had this gun, I don't think they were supposed to, like, they weren't supposed to, like, take video of it or anything. They didn't tell me not to talk about it, so it's not like that. And it doesn't matter, whatever. I don't even know why I said that. We definitely weren't supposed to take video and pictures of it. That's why there's no videos and pictures of it. Let's put this up. I do like it, though. I was so shocked. I really like the eye covers. That whole, like, new, not eye cover, but this whole new, like, eye retention system or whatever, I really do like. It just feels kind of clean and simple to me right there. It's really cool. I like it. I hope that they, in the future, totally ditch eye covers in general and just go with this. I much prefer this kind of like dealio. Ben, how does it feel? How does it feel like the 3.5 and not the 4 when they both had the IV core? That's what I don't know, right? That's why I'm like, I don't know, dude. My Geo 4 just didn't shoot well. And I've shot other Geo 4s that just didn't shoot well. But I'm not entirely sure why, honestly. I couldn't tell you. I really don't. Because it really is like almost the exact same gun, so. I don't know. Embargoes. Was someone's comment? Where did I just read? Someone's comment went away. I don't know where it went. Ben said, so does the front grip feel like the LV2 then? Seems wider than the CS3 or CS2s. So certainly, like, let's go back. So for sure the grip is like if I'm holding the gun like pointed at you, right? The LV2 is definitely narrower. So this grip is definitely wider. Like from the front, if you're holding it, it's going to feel wider. But it's not like as long, right? So it does feel maybe a little bit more round than the LV2. The LV2, it's kind of like got that little, like, feels a little bit flat. It's got kind of like that weird flattish trigger. When will they make the axe front grip instead of the same thing? When will they what? I don't know I don't know how to answer that question. DSR is still the best deal for a great electro marker / mechanical thing. Yeah, I love the DSR Plus. I mean, the DSR Plus is amazing. The DSR Plus is probably the quietest, least kicking gun that I have ever experienced. I mean, it's very, very, very good. Something about it though I don't like, you know, like I just feel like I just like the way the Planet Eclipse guns are built. They just feel like they're built better, and I just kind of prefer that. Yep. Okay, so you know what we can do for channel members, any of you guys who are, I should say not all channel members, any of you pro channel members, we're going to do a giveaway. But first, let's talk about, we'll do this first. So if you guys have watched any of these paintball videos recently, or listened to me, you know that I'm a fan of G1Paintball.com. They make like really, really cool head wraps. This is a bunch of B-roll from, not head wraps, I meant to say headgear. This is just a bunch of B-roll clips from actually making the video for these G1 beanies. And you can find them at G1Paintball.com using that code PBRML10, and you can get 10% off any of these things. You can see that little, like, not beanie, but it's kind of like just a forehead protector deal. That's their G300, which is the same thing as the beanie. It's just missing that top portion. But you can head over to G1 Paintball, get 10% off that thing right there, the G1 100 beanie. I love the thing. It's fantastic, and I like it just because it's cool. You know, it's like a little bit of forehead protection, but it's not all thick like a beanie. You know, it's just that lightweight, like dry fit material, just like that. But the main reason I bring this up is so you can, you know, go save 10% if you guys want to buy one of these things. But we're gonna give one away. We're gonna give two kind of things away, right? So these are all right now, all of those pro. That's not what I want to do. All the pro. I just want to. Whoa, jeez. I just want to move that down a little bit. Those are all the pro channel members. So anyone who's a pro channel member, you know, your name's in there. And we have stuff here. So we're gonna give away. Let's switch back to this though a little fast. So we have. What do we have here? We have. Does this top camera work? Did I set this up, or did I totally forget? What are we doing here? I kind of forgot to set my camera up. That's not the greatest thing ever. They have some gloves, so you're going to get some gloves, which are just kind of like those, you know, lightweight gloves that have gotten so popular in paintball recently. As well as one of the beanies. There's two of these. They come in two different sizes. There's this one, which is a large, extra large, and then there's a small, medium as well. And the sizes aren't dramatic. You know, I would say that, I don't know, it's like 10% bigger or something like that, the extra large is. It's not dramatic. You know, I mean, you can see the thing. It's like, you know, just a smidge bigger. And I can wear both of these things. I have like, you know, average size head. I don't have a big head. It's not small. It's just normal. And I can wear both of those things. Either size works. So what we're going to do, though, is because there's only one small medium and then one large extra large, is whoever wins first, whoever's the first name in here, you can pick your size. And then whoever is the next name, you are going to get whatever's left over. And it's very important, too, that you watch. I don't know, I'll figure out how to get a hold of people, but it's very important to watch the community channel as well, because we got to get information, whatever. So we're going to spin this up. Whoever wins the first time, you're going to get to choose your sizes, and then whoever wins the second time, you're going to get whatever's left over. Delmont! Congratulations on winning that, although it's backwards. I can't, yeah, it's flipped because I'm not actually facing the way you guys think I am. Delmont! Okay, I should say, Delmont, you can't win again. So if you win again, we're just going to spin it again. We're doing it again. I'm rooting for Chris W. Go Chris W. Ben, there you are, baby. Woo! Okay, Ben, since you're here, we're going to give you, you're going to get first take on the sizing. So we're totally going back on whatever sizing. So, Ben, You said, if I win, give me that large, extra large. You got it. Which one's this? This is the large, extra large. All right. So Delmont, I got the one really hard part about figuring this like stuff out is like there's no way for me to message anybody on here. You know, we gotta like figure that out. So, I'm probably gonna post a message in the as a private community or a members only message, and then ask everybody for their email addresses or something. So, you know, giveaways. So I want to do more giveaways like that, but I kind of just will do them as I get them. So that's a good way. You know, you want to be a channel, you know, channel members and giveaway stuff. And then we're gonna talk about the control too. I got a control over there. I want to make sure I'm putting these right. Small, medium. Small, medium. Someone with a super chat. Well, Ben with a super chat too. Thank you. I mean, shit. I mean, I think you guys know this is paintball, so no one makes any money doing paintball stuff. So without you guys, I mean, literally, without like, you know, people supporting this thing, it's not really possible. Give away Brad's EMAC, maybe some point. I've given away an EMAC before. Okay. Control 2. Oh god, I keep forgetting I have this table. Like, I have a thing on this thing. Mark! I'm with Mark. We gotta like the live stream. If you guys are here, you're hanging out, give the live stream a like. And, you know, let the algorithm know that you like paintball stuff by liking the live stream. Please, for the love of God. Okay, let's talk about the control. The Bunker King Control Deuce. So these things are coming in two different. We actually have the old one as well. I have my control hopper here as well. Let's switch down. Let's switch over to our top-down camera. Our camera. Let's move this. That might be really, really bright, huh? The Bunker King Control 2 Hopper. They have a box, and that's kind of cool, actually. It's like, you know, marked as the size. Yep. I really like this box because they actually put foam. The packaging is really good. It's like an inexpensive package, so it's not like stupidly expensive packaging for no reason. You know, it's like, I don't know, where the old Virtue boxes are crazy. I don't know. It's like, this is the Spire 5 box, you know, and it's just like a very expensive, like, box that there's no real reason for. So packaging's cheaper. I don't know if that's really a good consumer feature or not, but it's cheaper. So the original control didn't come with a speed feed, and these are actually coming now with their enter speed feeds. That, I don't know, you know, I was looking at this and I wondered to myself, is Virtue making these speed feeds on purpose to sell more speed feeds? Because I was like, you know what? I really like these speed feeds. Those SF ones, they have those acrylic fingers. Literally never had a problem with those. And they're like impossible to break, you know? I mean, you could, you know, snap it off if you want. But it's not going to wear out. Whereas these, like rubber ones, you know, they're just rubber. So you can like see it just bend so easy that they're just going to break. So are they like selling that? Are they making these to sell them quicker? I was wondering that. They do come with a few extra, though, in the box, which is a nice thing. So let's see. What do we have here? These are the... I want to look at make sure we cover, like, all the new stuff. I'm going to move that a little bit. Control 2. So I would say that one of the biggest problems with the original Control was probably these shells, right? If we grab the original Control 2, you can squeeze it. See how I can make a gap in this right here? Like, that's not, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but that's not really good. You know, and the shells were just, I don't want to say cheap, but they're just very thin. I think they were trying to make these things extremely light and small, which they did, but also at the same time, they kind of made them maybe a little bit too light, and they're just not as solid feeling as other hoppers. It's never happened to me, but certainly this tab could pull up and then the whole thing could explode, and you get this thing, you get the tray flying all over. So it was probably its biggest weakness, I would say, were the shells. So with the Control, they've kind of done two things, right? I can even kind of feel that weight difference a little bit. And it's a little bit taller because these do have that 220 shell. You can see that 20 on the back. It does have a little bit higher capacity than the 200 original Control. But they've kind of redone these shells up a little bit, right? They've made it thicker on the bottom, so it's a little bit more robust on the bottom part of the shell. You can kind of see even that it's a little bit, certainly a little bit thicker right here. That piece isn't even on the original Control. So that whole bottom shell is thicker. So we aren't going to have as big of a problem as those shells opening up, but they still do. I mean, you can kind of see through there to see that light. That's not a big problem, I don't think, though. So having that shell thicker just makes it feel a little bit more robust. It also makes that latch certainly harder to pull up. And then this tray doesn't just pull out anymore with magnets like the original Control. You actually have to pull that lever forward, and then that whole tray comes out. And it's kind of going to be similar in there. I mean, it's not a dramatic difference. We still have those eye system, 3 eyes on the bottom. It's still going to take AA batteries. They have moved that button to the rear, though, I should say. So now that button's just on the back. So you want to turn that hopper on, it's just on the back, whereas before it was on the bottom. It's just really weird. When it's on your gun, you kind of got to like reach under there and push the button. It's very odd. The biggest probably change, though, is going to be that drive cone. So now you actually have to unscrew with that little screw to get... I don't know, maybe they're not calling it drive cone anymore because it's not really a cone. But to get this drive tray spinner thing off, and if we compare it to the old or original Control, it's considerably different in there. I mean, it's like, you know, quite a bit different, although it's not at the same time, right? It's just kind of redesigned where the motor sits and how that cone mounts. I turned it on, I guess. Going wild. So they just kind of changed how that cone mounts. And you can see, I mean, obviously right away, right? If we put this back in there, just how much smaller it is on the side. So it's going to be able to hopefully hold a little bit of paint a little better now too. And you can see I don't have my spring ramps in there because I just never got them. I never bought the things. The Control 2 is now going to come with those. So that's about all, really. I mean, they've you know, added some other stuff too. Those you can actually clean. A little bit wacky. You can actually clean. You can actually take out this eye insert piece that, like, you know, goes over the eyes, which I don't really understand why. I mean, they say it's so you can like clean it or some shit, but like, I don't know why you'd. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. But it's crazy, you know. When I originally saw these, I first thought, and I was like, man, look at the electronics. Like, it's just that teeny electronics board. Let's like super zoom. It's just that really small electronic board, which is just kind of crazy, right? I mean, look at the size difference just a few years ago. It's like, look at how big the electronics are on the old hopper compared to the Control 2. It's just wild how different and how much smaller all of those internals are. So I think it's good. I mean, I think it's a worthy, we'll say, upgrade to the Control 2. I mean, if you have a Control or like a Spire 4 or something like that, by no means do you need it. See, this is the part I don't really like, this little screw. I really don't like how it's reverse thread either. It's so difficult to put on for me. It's not like you're gonna take that off ever in the games, but there's still something about, you know, having completely be toolless, but you got that little like screw right there, which concerns me a little bit. So one thing I wanted to do was put this thing on a gun and actually see like how stable it is. Because like I was saying, the shells on the original Control were so thin that, man, let's just grab this. Since the shells were so thin, I mean, one of the problems was I just didn't like the way it felt like on my gun, right? Because it moved so much. It's like, look at that. Like, that's just crazy, you know? Like, it shifts around so much. I don't like that. You know, I don't like how it's like all movie so much. Is this thing any better? God, yeah, it is. I mean, you can obviously still move the freaking hopper if I want to, but it's definitely considerably better. That was the one thing I didn't like the most. It worked perfectly fine for me. Never had a problem. I just didn't like the way it felt. So having it be, yeah, way more stable is for sure cool. Yeah. They're $235, $225 and $235, I should say. Those black ones right there are $235, and there's some other like colors that are $235. I think the solid red and that purple are going to be $225, so they're a little cheaper. It's actually expensive to make black stuff, which is weird. It's cheaper to make like red and blue and stuff like that. So that's why they're a little bit more. Bruce is like TFX3. You're going to be the only one there. TFX3 in it. Does it still take the end charge? It definitely still takes end charge, yeah. Yeah, the Triad. The Triad's so weird. So the Triad, I was supposed to have a Triad, but then they didn't have packaging for it, and I don't know what's going on. Fucking Triad. We'll see. I still think it's so weird how like A&S did that video. A&S did their shooting video. And, did they do a shooting video? Yeah, they did a shooting video, and it was like, tick, 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 tick. I mean, the thing only fed like 11 balls a second. I was like, what is going on? Crazy. Make sure to like the live stream. Give the live stream a like. Like the live stream, guys. That's your homework. Someone said something about a mask. Do you use the carbon more coverage or less coverage? I use the less coverage. And it's fine. I mean, the less coverage is kind of just like a typical paintball mask. I mean, I think it's like the, you know, same size as the Bunker King Command, or, you know, a Proflex or a Pro Shield, or, you know, a Profiler or a Prophet. You know, it's the same size as pretty much all the masks. That smaller one. The more coverage one is certainly a little bit larger though, but I mean, barely. It's not that big of a difference. I think if you're like a normal person, if you don't have like a big fat head, just get the regular one. If you got like a big ass head or something, or you're like 7'4", get the more coverage one. I really like the TFX3. It's plenty fast enough. The battery has incredible longevity, and was literally only charging it maybe every 13 cases or so. Yeah, that's really good. I don't know. I charge my loader every time I go out. I just do it so I know it's charged. I had the original TFX, and I had no problems with my TFX. I actually really liked my TFX. But then I know a lot of people who have problems with those things too, so it's not like a common opinion that the TFX is cool. That's for sure. Damn, I like ran through all my stuff I wanted to talk about already. What are we talking about? MAO, Geo R5, CTRL2, G1 giveaway. Yeah. Pretty much. Ben, do you think it's higher profile loader? I don't know. You know, you can do another promo for this thing. Oh my god. Go buy some merch. Check out the Paintball Ruined My Life store at pbrml.com. There's headbands over there for only $30, guys. I mean, $30 is a goddamn deal. Those are some of the styles. Some of these styles are actually sold out. Not those two, but in this whole slideshow. Yep, you can buy headbands over there. They're $30 a piece. There's some over there for $20. Only $20. You can get a 3-pack for $75. There's also barrel covers over there you can get for $7 or $15 for a 3-pack. There's some t-shirts, beanies, hats, you know, that kind of stuff. Check out the merch at pbrml.com/shop, or there's links below, you know. Help support the channel, because the next video I'm going to make is going to be titled, where I was going to do that smart parts video, but we kind of talked about smart parts, and I don't really want to, like, just, like, try to make, like, a smart parts takeout video. I feel like. So, working on all week, or last week, worked on the most important paintball tournament ever, or this paintball tournament. I can't spell. I really can't. I'm such a bad speller. I've been relying on spell check my whole life. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do the paintball tournament. It's gonna be about the very first Hyperball tournament. That Hyperball tournament kind of led into Airball very, very quickly afterwards, and then it kind of helped usher in a new generation of like Speedball and a whole new thing of paintball. Mark, everyone that lives in the West Coast, how do you guys feel about GI going to Reno, Nevada? I don't know. It's kind of weird. You know, it's like the old paint facility that Alex Frage used to own. Or the Frage family. I don't know. I don't know. I actually was going to go, I think I wanted to try to do a paint tour at their new facility. But I don't think they want to do that. I don't think that it's like really that nice. So I don't think I will be doing a paint tour. I actually totally just forgot that I replied to an email on that, but what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, they wanted me to go to Montreal, or like they said that Montreal would be a better place to do a tour, and I'm like, well, Montreal's like 3,000 miles away. I'm like, I can't go to Montreal to do a video. This is not gonna happen. I don't know. I think it's cool to have, like, you know, it's better to have, at least for the industry, it's better to have more paint facilities spread out. Mainly because, like, it's just easier logistically. You know, you can order paint if you're in California and get it really quickly if it's only in Reno. So it's, I mean, it's probably better. It's, you know, it's better all around for whatever. I'd love to go to Montreal. I just, you know, it's friggin' expensive. Chris, predictions for MAO. See how we were talking about that earlier. It's not actually MAO anymore. It's MAM. The Mid-Atlantic Major. I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't really looked at it or thought about it at all, so I don't have an answer for you. Carbon Elopads versus the infamous Pro DNA. I don't know. I think it depends on who you are. You know, I think that for myself, I would probably prefer the carbon ones because the carbon ones are a little bit lighter weight. I think they're a little bit cooler. So I kind of prefer that lightweight, cooler elbow pad. But that's mainly because I don't dive. You know, I'm diving like every 4 years. I, you know, dive twice a decade or something like that. So it's not like I'm diving a lot. So I don't necessarily need like, you know, super thick padding or, you know, super resilient elbow pads. But if I was, right, like if I was a snake player or something like that, I would probably pick the Infamous ones. I think the Infamous ones are a little more thicker. They're, I don't want to say made better, but they're made of like a probably stronger material. So they're going to probably hold up over the long time a little bit better if you're like an aggressive snake player. Yep. Reno's a great town. I don't know. You know, I haven't been to Reno in like 25 years, so I couldn't tell you. There's really no reason I would want to go to Reno. Funny. Defy is the best paint, David says. Okay. I don't know. Who knows? Way more padding for diving, for sure. They're probably about the same. I mean, they're both fairly, you know, thin pads, so. Should I buy a Spire 3 or 4 or a Control? I'm on a budget. Spire 3, I just buy whatever's cheaper. Or even, don't even, you know, look for a Spire IR. You don't have to buy this 3 or the Control. I mean, the Spire IR, you know, it's like 98% of what both of those hoppers are. You're kind of getting all the good things about the Spire in the Control still in the Spire IR. I'd probably get an IR. I mean, if I was on a budget and I wanted an inexpensive hopper, yeah, it'd be the Spire IR for sure. Smoke machine. I love my Pro DNA knee pads. Best I've had. They fit me better than the Hydras. Yeah, I've never actually tried the Hydra knee pads on. I don't know. I don't even wear knee pads, so there's that. I quit wearing knee pads altogether. They needed to do a pro event in California again. Yeah, I mean, I wish, but I don't think it's gonna happen. NXL Idaho. I don't know. Who knows what they're going to do? I mean, because Tom Cole, he said they weren't going to be doing Texas, so they're not going to do Texas next year. If they do, it might be like the first tournament or like the last tournament of the year or something crazy. But I highly doubt we'll see Texas next year. So who knows what's going to happen? I mean, we might have to go somewhere crazy. You know, we could do like Seattle and then like Malibu, and then we could do Point Reyes. I don't know. We could go to Hawaii. I mean, there might be more teams that go to Hawaii than California. That would be crazy. Did anyone get the Mac 10 Hormesis strap? Probably not. Oh, Sebastopol would be nice. No, not Sebastopol. Here we're gonna do all the tournaments next year. There's gonna be 5 tournaments. Here's what they're gonna be. Napa, either Napa or Calistoga. 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 Marin. Santa Cruz. Malibu, Oceanside. There's your 5 tournaments. 5 tournaments. Trust me, those would be the best tournaments they ever had. Definitely the Malibu and the Santa Cruz one. It's good, it'd be like the most expensive paintball tournaments you guys could imagine. If they had a tournament in those locations, entry'd like triple. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could have them like way out in the middle of nowhere, but Anyway, Cal Expo used to actually have a paintball field. I can't remember. It was there right when I started. So like 2000 or maybe 2001. It was so long ago. It was in the exact same place that Sacramento Republic play right now, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's a very cool location. That's kind of one of the things that I'm going to talk about in the next video, the most important paintball tournament video. Let's see if I can pull up part of the script. Hyperball, this is a part from the script that says Hyperball had set the path for airball to revolutionize the sport. These inflatable bunkers are incredibly easy to set up and take down, making it possible to host tournaments in places previously unthinkable. Beaches, city parks, you name it. Hyperball tubes, in contrast, were bulky and cumbersome. I don't know why I read that. What the hell are we talking about? Oh, Cal Expo. Yep. All these tournaments in crazy places. There was even rumor back in the day about them, like, trying to have a tournament on the pier in San Francisco. I mean, that shit would have been crazy. Crazy. Anyways. Yep. Who's got paintball questions? Hit me with questions. Do you think the ICPL has the potential to be as popular as the NXL? Mechanical is great, but it doesn't seem to get much love. I love mechanical. I don't know. I wouldn't say that it doesn't get love, right? I mean, look at like the last there was like a huge tournament, like the Pro DNA tournament was like recently, right? And they had like a shitload of teams. I mean, there were like 100 teams or something crazy. Probably not, though. I think that, you know, there's just something about it, like, these electronic guns shooting fast and stuff like that, there's just something about it being a little bit more appealing, I think. I think to some people who've played paintball for a long time, you're kind of just whatever to it, right? You might like mechanical more, or might not, or whatever. Like, I like mechanical more. But I think the newer players, and the newer players are typically the ones that are getting into tournaments. I would say that it's definitely more appealing to have these guns shoot fast and be like electronic, and it just makes it a little bit more interesting, you know, rather than like, it's like old mechanical guns or something like that. I don't know. Daddy, you haven't played in 20 years. What's the best paint to shoot today? Golly, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that there's ever been an answer, right? I don't even think that 20 years ago there was an answer. I think that it really matters, you know, batch to batch, because paintballs are a perishable thing, you know. They're very finicky, right? They have to be in the correct temperature and like stored correctly, and there's all these things that can affect almost every aspect about paintballs. So they're so hit or miss, not hit or miss, you know, but batch to batch they can change a little bit. It's like, you know, if you go to the store and buy apples, you know, the apples are going to vary sometimes. They're not going to be like the exact same thing every time. So paint-wise, it's like, I don't know. I don't think that there is a real answer. I mean, what the best, why is the speaker's on? I think the best thing to do, if it's even a possibility, right? And it's gotten really difficult because most of the paintball fields nowadays are all field paint only, right? So you have to buy the paintballs at that paintball park. So I don't know, right? Like, I wish that it was like, you know, 10 years ago when most of the fields were bring your own paint still, and you could go to the paintball store and you could just ask what's the best paintballs they have right then. And, you know, the guys at the store can tell you because they've been selling it. You know, they've been looking at all the boxes and people are giving them feedback. So it's definitely something that they could tell you. But so many of these paintball fields, you have to buy the paintballs at the facility, at the paintball park. And then they only have 2 kinds, so it's like, you don't have like a huge selection. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen when I hit that button either. Nothing happened. Good. I don't know. Paintballs are such a hard thing. Field paint only, and it's not. I don't know. It's not a. It doesn't. I don't know. It depends on if it's either good or bad, right? It's like it doesn't. I don't know. It depends on where you live, maybe, and there's so many factors that go into it. Geo R5 or the DSR Plus. I don't know. You said DSR too. Maybe we'll throw a plus in there. I'm going Geo just because I trust the company more. I feel like I trust those products more. But I really like the DSR. It's not like the DSR is bad by any means. So if you gotta choose one, you gotta choose one. Shot theory! If you haven't played paintball in 20 years, then honestly, you won't even notice the difference between a great and a good paintball. Yeah, I don't know. I always shoot. I don't ever shoot good paint, so I'm never shooting like good high-end stuff ever. I'm always using like cheap stuff, and it's fine for me. Like I don't really care. It works for me fine. Tempo 0. Store by Me sells 4 boxes for $100. Yeah, for sure. Wish I could take advantage of those prices and bring my own paint. I'm with you. But it's also, it's all supporting paintball, right? But some of these paintball fields, it's like, you're paying $25 entry, and that's all. And you just give them $25, and then they gotta, you can stay at their property for 9 hours. It seems like a hell of a deal. So that's one of the reasons that a lot of the places have gone field paint only, is just to, make more money. Which also isn't bad. I mean, these paintball fields need to make money. If you want to ever play paintball again, the field's got to make money, Automag. What about Automag? I'd stick to mid-grade paint. Yeah, probably. The others can shoot pretty much anything. My choices are field paint only, so I don't get around the paint world much. Yeah, neither do I. Really. I'm just kind of using whatever they have at the field. Dana says, I used Voltanium. Yeah, I haven't used that actually. This weekend for the first time. Shot amazing out of the LV2. The Voltanium, that infamous stuff. I don't actually know who makes that even. I don't know. Seems like it might be an APX product. No. I don't know. I know there used to be 2 fields by me. One is field paint only, the other is not. And it doesn't, a lot of the time it doesn't really matter. Like, that's why I was like, it doesn't really matter sometimes. Because, like, it's not like you're going to get, like, substantially better paint at, like, a paintball store or, like, something like that. It's not, like, crazy different. And some of the times the prices aren't even different anyway. So it really might not matter at all. Like, the field that I play at, I don't know what they sell paint for. I don't buy it. I just don't. I pay for it. I just don't ever play paintball. So it's been so long. What the hell was I saying? Buying paint. Yeah, I think that they sell it for like the same price as you can buy it for anywhere. So it's not really that huge of a deal. But then there's some places that charge like, double the price or something like that. The old All-Star is what I used to use. The black and green ones, if I remember right, All-Star there was a couple colors. It was probably most popular in the yellow shell with like the stars on it. The Marbleizer, made by the same company though, Marbleizer was a green shell. But they also had green in the All-Star. There was yellow All-Star. There was orange All-Star. So who knows? I swear Carnage paint is somehow related to ProChar. No. All the Carnage paint was made in made in Taiwan. And all the ProChar paint... Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know where all the ProChar stuff is made. I know it's made in, like, Poland or, like, Czech Republic or something like that. But I don't know if they make all of it there. They might have a facility somewhere else. Is it the Netherlands? I swear it's like Eastern Europe. But I don't know if they just have the Europe facility or not. They might have a place in Asia as well. I don't know. But for sure the Carnage was made in Asia. I'm 100% positive. I remember me some Carnage Rip, some Carnage Tear. What was the other Carnage ones? Those might have been the two. There were 3 of them. Carnage Bite. Because you had Bite, Tear, and Rip. We sold the shit out of some Carnage paint. It was good stuff. ProChar is Russia. Maybe that's why I'm thinking like further east or something. What brands are made in the US paint-wise? Valken. Some of the HK... I shouldn't say all the Valken stuff, but some of the Valken, some of the HK stuff is... That's about all I know. I don't really remember. I mean, I guess the GI, some of the GI... No, GI... Yeah, some of the GI sports stuff is... I don't know. I always forget where paint companies are at, and they're always, like, moving and stuff, too, so it was always, like, confusing to me. Yep. I don't know if it really matters all that much. It doesn't really matter for quality. It's like, some of the best paint I think you can still buy is made in Taiwan, and they ship it over here, so... Didn't GI just get the old Gap factory? Yep, that's, in Reno. Actually, it's in Carson City, Nevada. Technically. But yeah, that's I think the only... Is it the only paint facility left in the US for GI? I'm not positive either. I don't really remember. I haven't kept up on that stuff in so long. They have Canada. I think that's the only... Canada's the only place I think they make GI, other than like now the Carson City place. Zach, doesn't Planet Eclipse have the factory in Taiwan but assemble in the UK? I think they do both. So they make the guns in the UK, right? So like their high-end guns are made in the UK. So like LV2, CS3, Geo 5, made in the UK. The cheaper guns, like the EMEC and stuff, those are made in Taiwan and also assembled in Taiwan as well. They might assemble portions of them in the UK, but I know that the majority of the guns, the inexpensive guns, are also assembled in Taiwan. I'm like pretty sure. Pretty sure. I mean, almost everyone makes stuff in Taiwan now. I mean, that's where everything's made. That's where your Tippmans are made. That's where, you know, the dye guns are made. That's where your Luxes are made. They're all... I think in the same factory still. I don't really know. But at one point, Angel, Tippmann, and Smart Parts were all in the same factory, which is interesting. RPS. Yep, since RPS went to Canada, Gap is the last one, I think. Well, Gap hasn't really made paintballs in, like... I don't know. Something like that. Is it waterbeds? Is Alex's dad's money from waterbeds? I know they have a bunch of real estate as well. That's funny. Is it actually waterbeds? That's great. I know they recently moved, like Field 1 moved as well. And the only reason I think of Field 1, obviously, because Fragi, but Fragi's dad owned the building that the Field 1 guys were in too. So I think that they moved to another building that his dad owned. Or something like that. Chronic is back. No way his dad invented the waterbed. There's no way. Yeah, no way. Neil Arnott, a form of the waterbed, was invented in 1833. Definitely not his dad. Maybe he made like some new version of it or something. Dude, I had a girlfriend in high school that had a waterbed. It was fucking dumb. Maybe it was. I don't know. It says like there's something right here that says something about it being invented in San Francisco. Charlie Hall, apparently, is what this says. Huh. I don't know Alex's dad's name, but I don't think his last name's Hall. Anyway, maybe someone he could fill in a sin one day. That's pretty funny. Someone invented the waterbed. I don't know. Richard is his dad's name? Some brains with a crazy memory. Dude, I can't remember things that happened like 20 minutes ago. Wild. If I want to invent something, I actually don't want to invent anything. Yeah, waterbeds suck, dude. They're so lame. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why she had it. Maybe it was like a novelty or something like that. It was so lame. It's like, I don't know, you like lay down and you're like, ugh. And they're not really like necessarily more comfortable. Your body just like conforms to like the thing. So you're like, I don't know. They're kind of hard. I don't like them. Really not. Like, I don't know. They're just kind of novel. I don't know. I still remember that bed. It's so stupid. So dumb. Yep. Paintball. Am I gonna come out this weekend? I don't know. Probably not. I'll probably watch paintball if I do anything paintball related. What's the weather like this weekend? Is it supposed to be hot? It probably is. It's gonna be 100 degrees on Saturday. 94 degrees on Sunday. Coming back to paintball and going with an Eagle 11 or an Intimidator, what should I get? I mean, if I had to choose between those two, I don't know, man. I'm not entirely sure I would even do that. I wouldn't do either of those things. I mean, I wouldn't do either of them. I mean, the problem with them is that, like, you're buying, like, old, expensive guns, right? So, like, I mean, it's like you're buying something old and expensive. So it's like an Eagle 11 and Intimidator. It's like you get, they might be good deals, right? I mean, you get $200 or something, or $250, or $300. But if you have any type of problems with them ever, it's going to be hundreds of dollars to fix, you know, if you can even find the parts. Because parts have become extremely rare for those. So I wouldn't do it, right? I would buy something newer that you can get parts for, you know, like, I personally would rather have an ETHA 3. I would rather have a Mini GS. I would rather have the Axe 2.0. There's quite a few guns that, like, I think that are better, that are brand new, and only, like, you know, maybe $100 or $200 more than those would be. But that brand new version, you know, you can get parts for, and it's gonna work, and you don't have to worry about anything. Yup. I don't think, you know, buying old high-end guns is a bad thing, but I think that you have to, like, know what you're doing. You gotta know what you're getting into, right? Normally the people that are buying those are like people that are like trying to collect stuff or, you know, weird things. So it doesn't have to be new, just newer, I would say too. A used LV2, a used CS2, or a new 180R. One thing that's kind of hard too is like some of these questions, like, you know, like the LV2, CS2, 180R, it's like all preference. It's all just whatever you think, right? Obviously, all three of those are very, very good. I don't know. Like, I don't really like the way the 180R feels. I think that the LV2 and the CS2 feel much better. I think the CS2 is kind of boring to me at this point. There's so many guns that are just like the CS2, right? I mean, the Geo 5R... Fuck. The Geo R5 just came out. I swear to God. I'm never going to get that right. The Geo R5 just came out. And, you know, it doesn't even seem that much different than the CS2. So, I think the LV2 is just interesting, right? It's just more unique. It's just more interesting, mainly because it's a unique gun, right? There's not a lot of those pop-it valve guns out there like that. It's like stacked tube guns. And it does shoot fantastic. So I think I'd probably choose LV just because it's different. You know, it's not just the same old thing over and over, so. Ben says he paid $850 for an HK CS2 with all barrel backs. Became my main shooter immediately. $850 is going to be more than just a base, you know, standard, you know, CS2 as well. Probably not crazy, you know, like another $100, so something in there. I'm terrible at used prices. I don't ever know the prices of used things. Is the Force good? Yeah, the Force is good. I don't know, though. It's hard, right? I mean, like, the Force, it shoots well. I like the way they shoot, actually. I really like the way it feels in my hands. But certainly when we compare it to other high-end guns, right? Like, if we compare it to the CS3 or, I don't know, whatever you got, the M3 Plus, it just seems old, right? I mean, it has features on it or things that we would have seen 10 years ago that all the other manufacturers have kind of stopped doing. So it has like screws on the eye covers and screws on the grips, and there's just some things that are a little bit dated feeling on them that like the other guns from some of the other manufacturers feel a little bit more modern, I would say. But that doesn't mean the Force is bad. I really actually like how it's all like aluminum and it just feels really good. They're made exceptionally well, I should say, too. So they're made very, very, very well. The Force. Corey James says, just throwing it out there because no one's talking about it. Talking about them. And unfortunately, the resale is awful for them right now. The Shocker era, I feel like, aren't getting the love they deserve. I've had mine since the month after they came out, and I've only been loving it. Yeah. I don't know why. You know, like, I mainly feel that just because it's so similar to the previous gun, it's just kind of like not a big departure. Yep. Yeah, it's very weird. You know, the Shocker RSX, when the RSX came out, it was very popular. I mean, the Shocker RSX sold pretty well. But I mainly think it's just because, you know, it'd been the first Shocker in like, you know, 10, 15 years or whatever it was. Like 10 years. I think it was just kind of like people were just more excited about there being like a new Shocker. I don't know. People just aren't, you know, hyped on those guns in general. And I don't think they have been for a while. They're not bad. I just can't handle how small they are. They're so small that I just can't do it. Some brain says, the Force is a 2014 throwback design language. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I would say so. Pretty much. weird noise. Huh. I don't know. My legs are tired. Big Daddy just bought himself an amp. Yeah, I don't mind the amp. I really like the Shocker amp. Yeah, these Shockers really haven't changed since they've come out, though. I mean, they had the XLS, or they had the RSX, the XLS, the amp, right? Or am I missing one? I'm missing one. The RSX, the XLS. What the hell is that middle one? Am I missing one? Or am I insane? I'm blanking right now. Shocker paintball gun. Like, this is totally not gonna work. The CVO? But was the CVO was just like the XLS with the mechanical frame? That might be what I'm thinking of, though. I thought of the CVO in my head, but then I was like, no, because it's just the XLS. Okay, so RSX, XLS, amp era. Okay, I don't know why I was like, is there a fifth one? I was like thinking there was like another one in between the XLS and the amp. Which technically I guess the CVO. Man, bugs flying around. CVO and the RSX were ion based. I think it's really just the RSX and the XLS. I guess the CVO then, yeah. True. Freaking animals flying all over. Remember the 4x4s? I don't remember the 4x4s. I didn't play paintball when those were out. Weren't Shockers closed bolt the old ones? The old ones were, yeah. The original ones. So like the 4x4 or the Sport or whatever. I don't remember what those are called. I think that's all they were. You like your RSX with a the CVO frame? Do they make those mechanical frames for those even? Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I like mechanical. Mechanical's the way to go. I kind of like it. I'm all about it. Yep, Corey says, yeah, RSX were souped up ions. Yeah, they definitely were. I mean, I can even envision the bolt inside my head, even, and be like, ion. I like the ion, though. The ion shot great. So, the ion was insane. I mean, the ion was $200 when it came out. That's what's crazy to me. $200. Or no, wasn't it 175? I think it was 179 or 189. It was even cheaper than that. It's fucking crazy. Corn Pops. My last gun I bought was an Angel A4 Fly with a custom board. I had one of those. Mine was crazy though. Well, let's see if I can find my A4. You had an A4, you had a Force. What color did you have? We've probably talked about this gun on here before. The black, so polished black with silver parts is the one you had. Oh, here's mine. Look at this bad boy. The picture's so small. Hold on, I gotta like save the image. Make that go away. It's so small though. That picture is teeny tiny. Look at that thing. Mine was crazy. That's the Sprite ammo. This was crazy. So we actually milled this frame though. So that is a chain LCD trigger frame with pearl grips, baby. It has a Euro speed board in it. So that's a board. That's a board from an Angel that they never sold in the US even. That's for a Euro speed. And like an 04, 05 speed, or no, was it 06? I think it was the 06 speed. No? I don't remember. Jesus Christ. Yep, but that thing, yeah, we had to machine the trigger frame, so we had to like mill the frame to actually get it to fit on there. I loved this gun. I was all about it. I really liked it. And there were, I don't remember how many colors there were though, but there were like 5 colors in those or something like that. I really hated the feed neck on it though. Those like stupid feed necks. Here's what it looked like before. So that's the real grip frame on there right there. That's what it's supposed to look like. But I hated, like with a passion, dude, I hated these like 90 frames. So that's why we custom modified it. I think I had a bunch of like weird prototype parts in this gun too. No, I didn't on that one. That was another one. It was cool. I really liked that gun. I was all about that thing. Dude, this is a channel of awesome. Great memories, yeah. The black and silver A4 Fly. I personally preferred the burnt orange. It was like a dark orange one or whatever. It's so sweet. Honestly, just bored with everything on the market right now. I just want a new Poppet. That's how I feel. I mean, that's kind of why I was like, you know, I don't really know. I think I'd choose the LV2 just because it's so much different. And, you know, I think that, you know, if Field 1 could come out with a G7R or like a new version of the Intimidator, they'd sell the crap out of it, just like some brands, G7R, for sure. I mean, they'd sell the crap out of the thing. I mean, they would sell out in moments. I mean, it would be like instant, like everyone would buy those right away. And I think that they should even not even do dealers anymore. Look at how wide that bitch gets. You can see the microphone? That's what I'm talking to. What's really crazy is look at how far away it looks. But it's like this far from my mouth. Like it's like right there. Crazy. Like the stream, guys. If you don't like the live stream, it's going to implode on itself. Yes, the Intimidator. They really would like, just like, sell the shit out of it. Dragon, GZ Dragon Species, the Naughty Dog, Ripper, etc. Repro Mill Patterns. I don't know what that means. Ben Lawton with the goddamn super chat again. Ben's been the only super chatter of the night, just killing it out here. What do you think is the most ag Proflex combo right here? Black. That's my real answer. I don't know. I was never into that. I don't know. I never cared. I mean, like, maybe back in the day, like, it'd have been cool to have, like, some old straps. And at one point I had, like, an old, cool JT. I had one of the racing straps, like, the original ones from, like, the 80s or something. It was, like, black and gray. That was cool. But I've never been into all the colored stuff, you know? I always wanted to be, like, black. Black. Solid black. No cool parts. Maybe I should just do the entire live stream with just a mask on. Just talk like this. Can you guys hear me right? They're going to think that I'm like assaulting like something. They're going to be like, this is an assault. Field 1 should drop a new version of Intimidator and make a dragon version. Corn Pops! I was going to scream really loud, but then it'll like, I don't want to make anyone deaf. Thank you, sir. Or ma'am. What are some good marker choices nowadays on the higher end? Have things improved that much since the Angel Fly days? Yes, you bet they have. For sure. I mean, no question. I don't like that. For sure. I mean, guns, I don't know if they're necessarily, I wouldn't say manufactured better than the Angel. Angels were extremely well made since the day they started manufacturing stuff, right? I mean, I think that's one of the things that like initially separated Angel from a lot of the other companies, right? Was just how well they were made. And there's other companies that are making stuff just as well now, right? Like Planet Eclipse makes stuff extremely good. And I think Field One, those are probably the top 2 companies that are just good at manufacturing. But lots of stuff's better, right? I mean, the guns are quieter. I mean, considerably quieter now. I mean, loud guns are like half the loudness of what the Angels, the A4 was at least. The new guns, yeah, are kicking less. They're quieter. They're probably 30 to 40% more air efficient and substantially more reliable. Did I say more reliable? I don't know. But they're way, way, way more reliable. I mean, Angels at the time, even when that A4 was out, was one of the more reliable guns. But the newer stuff just, I mean, literally just works all the time. Like, you don't have problems with it. So, I would say stuff's way better. Just because it's made better and considerably more reliable. Look at that, we got some smoke. Doesn't sound that bad. Me? Was I sounding bad? Yeah, it would be really cool to see it really would be cool to see them bring back like the G7R and do. I don't know if they should do that species in the species milling though. But certainly if they brought back like the GZ body, that'd be really cool. Man, the Dragon G6R looks so good, dude. The gun looks so good. Crazy. Chris Martin with a freaking super chat again, guys. Thank you, sir. This channel is fantastic and got me back in the game for 25 years. Well, that's good. You know, I like to know that, like, that's good. You know, I love paintball. I do. I don't at the same time, though. What I love about paintball is that it takes me outside and I can just go hang out with friends and talk and goof around and, like, you know, shoot the shit and just hang out. That's what I like about it. JG Wentworth. This channel, it got back into paintball. That's pretty cool. My bank account has suffered greatly. Well, hopefully not for a long time. You know, I was thinking about this the other day, and I was looking at bicycles. And I was like, you know, bikes, you buy a bike, you can, you know, get a bike for whatever price you want to pay. A mid-range road bike or mountain bike's like $4,000 though, so there's that. But, you know, bikes are wearing out all the time, right? You gotta buy like a derailleur hang. I gotta buy a freaking chain ring. You know, you gotta buy all kinds of stuff. Like, parts just wear out. And one of the good things about paintball guns is, for the most part, stuff doesn't wear out. You know, you're not getting like aluminum pieces wearing out. You just kind of have to replace O-rings. I don't know. It's just like the cost of paintball, the gun might cost up front, but I mean, you could use the thing for 20 years probably. You know, it's not like we're buying guns all the time. The paint is the problem, but that's just how it is, and it's always going to be that way. I'm with you, though. JG Wentworth, you missed the Brass Eagle talk. We talked about the Talon already. We compared the Talon and the Rainmaker. Which VCOM was the species? What do you mean? The species was just an old Intimidator. Maybe you're thinking of the Reptile, though. There you go, the Reptile. I want to see some cool reptile pictures. I had some of those things. Let's see if I can find any reptile photos. Reptile. Speaking of rippers, this is my gun too. This was a cool one. Actually, this was Tyler Harmon's old gun too. That's funny. This was during my put black borders on pictures phase. Yeah, that was definitely Tyler's gun. That's funny. Faux show. That one's cool. Where's the reptile at? Oh, look at this one. Dude, I forgot that I had that ripper. Look at this one. Woo-wee! That's the cool one. That's the one I liked. That was Dave Baines' gun at one point. We're just like finding all the old pictures of stuff. There's another ripper. Where are my reptile pictures? Oh, there's one of them. Maybe I don't have like a ton of pictures of the reptile or something. The reptile was a crazy gun. So these pictures are better because they're so much newer. The reptile. The milling was just so crazy on these. I mean, that was really like its big selling thing, was that like how just crazy the milling was. And there were only a handful of these made. They were very, very heavy though. It looked cool though. Looks really cool. You want to see something cool though? This is even cooler. Wait, what is with that? That's not what I want. There it is. That's pretty cool. Some of you old guys would probably be like, oh, that's sweet. Well, I don't know why. We're just finding all the old pictures that I've got of old paintball guns. The Revenge. Dan, was Bob and Zach Longmarker making these? I don't know what. I don't know what they're doing. I'm not sure. I remember hearing Bob wanted to like restart the magazine. He was doing like archery, as you said, bow and arrows. I think that he was like restarting a magazine or something like that, but that was a long time ago. I don't think that actually happened. It's not like, yeah, that wasn't actually a thing. I guess it was an actual thing. I just don't think that they did it. And the sun's shining. Yeah, I don't know. There's more cool paintball guns, but nothing that exciting. And all through the night. Dude, I have so many pointless photos. Okay, I'll stop looking at my pictures. I'm just like looking at pictures, not even paying attention to what's happening. Bud Orr, War Games, what about it? Flame throwing banjos. Axes? Axe pictures? I probably don't have any of those though. I didn't take pictures of like I don't have like pictures of stupid guns. Some of these aren't mine though. I mean, you do have to remember that I owned a paintball store. So like that reptile, I didn't own the I mean, I technically owned the reptile. But look at this, is cool though, actually. I don't know the story behind this, but I owned this too. It's got another speed board in there. I don't know if that was I don't know what the deal with that is. This was an Angel conversion But that conversion is actually like a real conversion. So that conversion is done by Angel. Most of you have no idea what I'm talking about, but that eye conversion was done by Angel. Shit, I might have done it. I don't remember. Do you have any access? I have so many G6R pictures. It's crazy. I've had so many G6Rs. I've had like 10, 15, I don't know. So many G6R pictures. Whoop, I don't know why I have this picture in here, but... I don't know. I won't put that up. Oh, there's a picture of an axe. Oh, it's just a regular axe. Here's an axe. I'm very proud of these pictures, though. You know, one thing that I did good at the store was taking pictures of stuff. Look at how good that picture is. Go find me another axe picture that good. All right, anyway. An E-Mag! You know, I don't know. I never really got into the E-Mags. Whoa, look at that. There's an angel on my head. Man, all these guns. It's like, it reminds me how old I am. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that was like 20 years ago. It'd be cooler. Freaking wasn't that old. Statues. What's the coolest photo I've ever taken? I'm like looking at all the photos and stuff of whatever. Where are like the folders or albums or whatever? Oh, there it is. Albums. This is kind of cool. This is not actually cool. You know who's gonna care. Anyway, alright. I don't know what the hell I'm doing now. We're running out of things. Have you ever had a legend, maybe? No, I never had a legend. The Infinity Legend. I like the way those guns felt, though. They were pretty cool. It felt good in the hands. It was weird how I had like that spring-loaded bolt and shit, though, so it like was a little weird. It was a little odd. You ever rock a Bob Long Defiant? Nope, never had a Defiant either. Those were weird times for paintball. I feel like the Defiant came out, and the Defiant was like a mid-range, high-ish end gun, and at that time, I wouldn't have owned that. I would have only had high-end guns. I don't even know if I've ever shot the Defiant. I probably shot the Defiant. I don't really remember. Yeah, ICD definitely sucked. The freestyle and stuff, those things were awful. I mean, Indian Creek was like a big deal early on, but I mean, come like 2002 or whatever, and like, it was not that good. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get out of here. And, I don't know. Some updates. We'll remember this thing. The live push watch stream is not taking place on Thursday. It's going to be the next Thursday. So the 27th. Rescheduling because you know, NXL's taking place on Thursday, so it's kind of crazy to like do it exactly during the finals. The finals for the NXL are going to start at 4:30, and this is at 4, so it's like literally right in the middle of the finals. So we're just doing it a week later. I totally did not prepare, or I did prepare. I just didn't, you know, I didn't think about it.